a lot of professional athletes talk about, there's that competitive fire, and you have to find a channel for it. How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's going good. Yeah. You kind of just got to figure out a different channel in your life, I guess. Yeah. And so it's like trying to find that next thing, that next, job or work or whatever it is, where I can put that passion and, family as well in that. So it kind of just becomes everything else in life that I put on the back burner.
Right.
Now
so
it takes that passion.
So with that in mind, the prospect of playing for the all-military team, was that something you jumped at? Was that something you stopped and thought, do I want to get back into this? Or?
I didn't know how big it was going to be. So I was like, I saw it and definitely jumped at it because I just really liked the environment. I knew Mark was putting it on.
Yeah.
I knew the guys who probably were going to be a part of it. And I saw it was for veterans too. So I was just like, I jumped at it at that point, and then it, just became bigger and bigger. And Mark had called me and saw that I had filled out my information, and he immediately, snatched me up.
Yeah.
And, I think 4 or 5 months ago was just like, hey, we want you on the tour.
Yeah.
And I kind of committed a long time ago. So, and then it just grew.
Yeah. You've taken a leadership position, you and John Cullen, that's kind of an obvious pick, I guess. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, anytime that I can step up and give back to those guys around me too, because I am one of probably the more experienced guys as far as rugby and internationally. Probably maybe not at the 15s part of it. I played high level in college, but since I haven't really played much of 15s, you watch it, but playing it's way different.
Right.
I coach it now, so that does help. Honestly, everything that I'm coaching, I'm now being taught and coached. Yeah. So, it's just everything that I told them to do, I have to go do now myself from that position. So
is your coach voice hovering, making a noise inside your head besides your player voice?
I think I have a good switch, honestly. Yeah. I'm all player right now.
Okay.
I don't have any coach thoughts really at all. I think it's all about kind of fitting into the system, learning it, getting those guys around me to learn it too, and seeing how we can all work together. I don't have really much of that coaching mindset at all.
And it is players from all backgrounds, different levels of experience. Just talk to Nico, right? So he played Division II college, right? You played D1A, right?
Yeah.
Schultz Award finalist. It's like there are guys who play just like in base teams and club teams all over the world, and others who are like, the West Point guys from a couple of years ago, or professionals. So you're all trying to figure all this out. Do you think it's more difficult, like with a back line and getting all that timing right and the communication, which is so important, right?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge come the weekend, because you're also playing against guys who grew up. We're not playing soccer, football, basketball with a bunch of guys who did that from the starting age. So I think that's the biggest challenge, is these guys just naturally know how to move a ball.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out how to do it together as a team, where they can just, I think, they can put 6 or 7 together and, naturally be able to move a ball, call plays that are, natural to them. I don't think we have that same ability.
Yeah.
We have to be very more, same with like Army, it's structural. Like with the military, it's just structural. So that's what we're trying to figure out, is like, what are the structural plays that we want to focus on, rely on, that we can lay back on, and when it gets deep into the depths of the game, and we're just like, okay, it's a right hand scrum right here. What do? This is what we do. There's no other option at this point, because it's just so structural, and that's what we like. That's what you like as a military member,
sure.
And that's what we're all about. So.
John talking about like picking someone up after they made a mistake. We're gonna have mistakes, but you can't dwell on them. So you have to help each other out that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, life in general is full of mistakes, and it's all about how you react to it. And I think that's one of the things that I was really good at over my career, is being able to make mistakes and get on to the next play. And a lot of guys aren't good at that. And so for people like me and some of the other guys who are, we need to pick those guys up too. So I think that'll be a big thing that comes into the weekend too, because like you said, there will be a lot of mistakes. We're a group of guys, random guys, 4 trainings in. we're gonna have passion, grit, effort. We're gonna fight for each other. I mean, I had guys walking off the pitch telling me, I'm willing to put my body on the line this weekend.
That's good.
And so you know that intensity will be there.
Yeah.
The skill level and the execution and just the simple catch, pass, kick, tackle that comes into rugby, those are probably going to lack a little bit. But that's where we have to, get back on our high horse and figure it out.
All right. Sounds good. How's the atmosphere here? And it's really kind of cool for me to be at Sandhurst and just see, feel the history, but also to see, the young cadets that are here and training, stuff like that. So
yeah, I think I think a lot of this is really cool for the civilian mind. And for us, at least for me, it's kind of taking me back to when I was in basic and AIT, right. And seeing the cadets working hard and getting smoked on the side of the field and running through the water, coming back, and then coming into the chow hall and getting, this is typical chow hall food, just like in America. So it's well, it's kind of similar, to be honest, in a lot of those senses. Same with the dorms that we're staying in, the showers, the facilities. But it's deep in history, and they're super gracious hosts in that sense, and super thankful to be able to even have an opportunity like this to come overseas, stay in a place, and be able to practice right across the field. Everything's in one place. It's really cool.
Yeah. So I know you sort of did it, but prediction for Friday?
Prediction? I mean, we're gonna try as hard as we can, and I think that what I don't want to mistake, and I don't want other people to say, is we're the underdogs.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just kind of obvious. It's an obvious thing that these guys play rugby all the time together, and we don't. But I keep reiterating to the guys, let's have some type of winning mindset. Let's win the tackle. Let's win the opportunities that we get. Win the rucks. Win the gain line. Win the kicks. Have more of a winning mindset as we can go into it, and then we'll take it from there. Because if we start at that lower mindset, it just allows us to go even lower. So I'm trying to reiterate over and over a winning mindset, and not get into that dulling. We're gonna go hit them in their mouths. We're gonna go smack these dudes around, and we're gonna get smacked around too. We understand that, but that's what the fight is going to be about, and that's how the military is standing in line with your brothers and doing anything for them and putting it all on the line at the end of the day, and these guys are ready for that. I promise you that.